I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The Stone Age was baffling. The Metal Age just as mystifying. But I'll give them both cards and spades with the most puzzling age of all, the Teen Age.
Kelly! Kelly! Here it is, Kelly, here it is, hot off the press. Let's see, Ginger. Look, Peter, my very own column in print in the school paper.
Wallabaloo!
And they even put my picture right next to it.
You look very journalistic.
I was supposed to write the column, but the editor likes brunettes.
And talent.
So now I'm her leg man. I bring in the mail.
Careful, Lick Man. You get banana all over tomorrow's column.
Sorry, I'm on a banana diet.
Glad to hear that. Good for your figure and better for our budget.
Gosh, I can hardly wait to show Uncle Bentley. Dear Kelly, that's me. I am a lovely girl of 16, and I am very disappointed in my boyfriend because... And my advice to you, disappointed, is don't give him the gate until another boy comes swinging through.
Very proud of you. I'll make copies in Chinese and send it to relatives.
Here's another one for the next edition. Dear Kelly, I caught my best friend taking out my girl. Should I give her the heave-ho or punch my friend in the nose? Signed, Puzzled.
What's your answer to that? Answer. Dear Puzzle, and no problem is ever solved by shedding blood, especially if it turned out to be yours.
Go on, read on.
My advice is, I wouldn't give a nickel for a chick who's fickle. Good. That's combination of Lin Yu Tang and Elvis Presley.
I'd have told him to punch him in the nose.
Aye.
Uncle Bentley, have you seen this?
Hearing it is bad enough. Darling, don't you have anything better to do with your time than read a silly column like this?
She not read silly column. She write it.
She writes it.
Sure. I've even got my own byline, Dear Kelly.
Today, she just Dear Kelly in school paper. Tomorrow, she Dear Kelly in New York Times. Then Paris, London, Vienna.
All right. Dear Kelly, I'm a brunette, and my boyfriend likes redheads. If I got a redheaded wig, would... Darling, you mean the kids in school are writing to you for advice?
Uh-huh.
You who can't decide between a banana split and a double fudge sundae?
Well, it's only the first edition, and already I'm more popular than summer vacation.
Niece Kelly don't give cream puff answers either. Pack real wallop.
And so I notice. Honey, I'm not so sure that a girl your age should be free with this type of advice.
She got young head, but beside it is wise old head who shake yes or no.
Really? Dear Kelly, my father won't allow me to drive the car. If he doesn't change his mind, I'll quit school. What do you think? Signed, L. Dear L, there's no need to quit school. Just stop talking to your father, and in a week you'll be behind the wheel or behind the 8-ball. Stop talking to your father. Did your wise old head shake yes to this one?
Well, she put in last line while I was busy stuffing duck.
Darling, I do think it's rather presumptuous of you to take the... Ginger, dear, don't you have something to do, say, at home, like eat dinner or something?
No, this week it's bananas and skim milk for me. Oh, and Mr. Gregg, if you and Kelly want to squabble, don't let me interrupt.
There won't be a squabble, Ginger. Bye. Oh, yeah, one for the road.
Bye, Kel. Bye, Ginger.
Now, where were we?
You think she's presumptuous?
Oh, yes, yeah. Now, really, darling, writing this claptrap at your age.
I'm 17.
What can you know about life at 17?
I faced the trials, the knocks, the tribulations on the bumpy road of the teenager.
Also think you ought to stop reading those pulp magazines and stick with the 5 Little Peppers and how they grew. Frankly, honey, I'm surprised the school would permit a thing like this.
Well, the column's on trial for 2 weeks. But in the meantime, our faculty advisor okayed it.
Oh, she did she? Who is she, anyway?
Miss McCleary.
Your algebra teacher, the one with the blonde hair?
And the green eyes.
And the figure you say never stops?
Well, she and I are going to have a little talk. After all, what does a blonde, green-eyed algebra teacher know about advice to the teenage lovelorn? She should keep looking for X. Nobody's been able to find it yet. Hello, Janice. What are you doing tonight? Janice, I can't tell you how happy I am that you could make it tonight.
Well, it was a question of you or grading some algebra papers.
Well, I always come out on top against that kind of competition.
Thank you.
Simpatico, signor Greg.
Good evening, Angelo.
So nice to see you. Welcome, signorina.
Well, what do you have to recommend for us tonight?
Tell me, signor Greg, you come here to nibble or go for broke?
We go for broke?
We go.
Benissimo, that's what I like. I like healthy people who love calories. Signor Greg, if you will allow me, I'd like to present to you a nice 8-course dinner that's gonna be... You know what I mean, huh? Excuse me. No breadsticks. It's spoil your appetite.
Bentley, you have absolutely no regard for my figure.
You know me better than that.
I did about 4 weeks ago.
Has it been that long? Tell you, the pressure of business and raising a niece sometimes takes a man's mind off of algebra.
You know, Bentley, you should be very proud of the job you're doing with Kelly.
Why, thank you, teacher. Those are nice words.
She's really a very imaginative girl. Have you read her Dear Kelly column?
Yes, very imaginative. You really approve of this Dear Kelly stuff?
Well, I'll admit there was a little bit of controversy among the faculty, but then I took the initiative and I convinced them they should give it a trial.
You mean that you put your stamp of approval on that inflammatory junk?
I see. Then you didn't ask me on this date just to fill me with lasagna.
Oh, really, Janice? How could you approve of that stuff?
I just decided it was right.
Just like that?
No, not just like that. I mean, any method by which a teenager can be encouraged to express himself is certainly not junk.
Kelly answers Elle in her column that the best way to drive the family car is to stop talking to her father. You call that expression?
Now, what was the first thing that happened when you refused to let Kelly drive your car?
She stopped talking to me.
Exactly. And Elle stopped talking to her father long before Kelly ever gave her the advice. But now, what is the important thing that she did say? She said, do not quit school. Now, here's a girl who has intelligence, and she certainly should be encouraged to express it.
Now, Kelly is going to get into trouble with that column, and I tell you, it should be stopped.
Not as long as I'm faculty advisor.
Oh, I should have known that a blonde, green-eyed algebra teacher couldn't be rational.
Well, at least I'm not arbitrary.
Well, only 2 of us here, and that means that I am.
We're really 3 of us, so maybe it's all right. You eat because it's only get told.
I know your type exactly. You're going to go home and forbid that girl to write the column.
That proves that you don't know my type at all. Now, Janice, I am a lawyer, and I have an instinct for trouble, and it is right here.
And I'm here, too.
I am going to protect Kelly from herself and from you, too.
Oh, well, thank you very much for the Italian dinner.
Now, wait. Now, Janice, really, now sit down.
I am not hungry. Good night.
Now, wait.
It's the food.
Now, Janice.
Signorina.
I'm not hungry either.
Oh, Mr. Greg.
Now, wait.
Food. What am I going to do?
Right to dear Kelly.
Oh, sì. Who's the Kelly? Questa americana mia, sono pazza. Signorina! Vieni qua. Sit down. Ti fanno scivolare i pazzi proprio lì. Questi sono come così. La antica. Non sanno mangiare, hai capito? Perché pitovi, ma aiutami,
Listen to this one, Peter. It's I'm bewildered. Dear Kelly, I am 3 inches taller than my boyfriend. He insists I wear flats to make us even. I look dumpy in flats. Now, Peter, what she wants to know is, should I give up heels or my boyfriend?
Morning, darling.
Morning, Uncle Bentley.
Peter, Mr. Gray. Looks like the post office will have to build an annex here.
How did everything go with Miss McCleary last night?
Splendidly, dear. Splendidly. What do you have? Dear Kelly, I am 3 inches taller than my boyfriend. He insists I wear flats to make us even. I look dumpy in flats. Should I give up heels or my boyfriend? Signed, Bewildered. Well, what shall we answer, Bewildered?
I think we?
Mm-hmm.
Mr. Gray, niece Kelly and me are we. Don't need a new we.
Nah, she's got your wise old head, Peter. She could use a cool legal one.
Miss McCleary thinks I'm doing fine.
Darling, I don't approve of this column, but if you must write it, I intend to keep you out of trouble and maybe raise the caliber of the column while I'm doing it. And will you serve my breakfast, please? Well, now let's answer Bewildered. Dear Bewildered, regarding your problem of the 14th, my advice is to keep the status quo. That's the tall and the short of it. See, darling, you don't commit yourself, and you had a little chuckle. You can use it. Don't have to tell anybody that I wrote it.
Don't tell anybody you wrote it either.
Now, let's see what's next. Dear Kelly, I am very fond of a boy called D, but my father won't let me go out with him. What shall I do? Sign G. What shall G do, dear?
I don't see what G's father has to do with it. He's not dating D. We're gonna tell G to keep going out with D.
Well, now, honey, G's father certainly knows boys better than G does, having been a boy himself. And if he doesn't approve of D, there must be a very good reason. We'll back G's father to the hilt. Now, take an answer. Dear G.
G.
In the case of G's father versus D, it's my considered opinion.
Kelly, you and I have been like this for years. I've been your leg man, your hatchet man, your front man, and your closest neighbor. How can you do a thing like this to me?
What, Ginger?
Just as I had my father sold, you tell G not to go out with D.
You're G?
How do you spell ginger with a J?
Who is D?
Dennis, of course.
Of course.
It seems to me, Mr. Gregg, if you took time to give your niece a little advice, she wouldn't write junk like that.
Well, I happened to write that letter.
Well, you've done nothing for my social life, Mr. Gregg.
Now, Ginger, dear, look, I like Dennis. He's a fine boy. I can't see any reason at all why your father should object to him. And I think you could so stipulate in your column. Right, dear?
Yes, Uncle Bentley.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Gregg. And I'll tell my father you stipulated so.
Just what do you mean telling my daughter that she can go out with that guitar-playing bungle booby?
What?
Dennis, that's what.
Oh, now, come on, Cal. He's a likable kid.
So like him.
Now, why shouldn't Dennis and Ginger go out?
I'll tell you why they shouldn't go out. Because they don't go out. They sit in the house and have their dates. Dennis turns that record player up so loud it breaks my reading glasses. He makes airplanes out of my newspapers and zooms them right into the guppies. Then what does he do? He sits down in my favorite chair, strums that worm-eaten guitar. And my love for you will never grow cold. I'm growing a little old while he's doing that.
Well, take the guitar away from him.
The minute I do, what does he do? He heads for the refrigerator, just like a whippet. I've got to stand right in front of my watermelon like a goalie on a hockey team.
Well, Cal, I had no idea.
Listen, just a moment, fella. If you don't have an idea, don't interfere.
I'm just trying to keep Kelly from making a mistake, that's all.
I think it's pretty presumptuous of you to enforce your advice. After all, what do you know about life at your age? Take my advice. You do the column. He'll get you involved in a lawsuit. Poor man's Dorothy Dix.
That automail did Kelly get today?
That's all.
Uncle raised caliber and lower circulation. No wonder. Status quo ipso facto ad infinitum. Gotta be Clarence Darrow to take answers. Aren't you gonna open them?
I can't until Uncle Bentley gets back from his golf game.
Thanks to Bentley, I've got Dennis on my hands again. I walk into the kitchen, all set for watermelon. Open the refrigerator, no watermelon, just Dennis's fingerprints, thanks to dear Bentley.
Yeah, he answered a letter from my kid, too. You know, the one with high heels and should she get rid of her boyfriend?
Your daughter's bewildered?
Constantly. Bentley tells her to keep the status quo. Now, I'm trying to get her out of high heels into flats. Now, who wants to marry a girl 6'3"? And who wants a pole vaulter for a son-in-law?
The kids have a nice little world going. And why doesn't Bentley keep out of it?
Why doesn't Bentley keep out of what?
Dear Bentley, I'm a kid of 52. Do you think that I can find happiness with a girl of 108?
Very funny, Cal, very funny.
And I'm sweet 16. My father hates me. Do you think I should put ground glass in his snuff box? Sign, adorable.
Okay, adorable, okay.
La-di-da-di-day. He's the darling of the PTA.
Well, I got no time to waste with adult delinquents.
You know something? He's beginning to ask for it, Ollie.
Cal, you got the mind of a fiend. Now, why don't you come up with something?
Now, he's not very stupid, you know. He's a pretty clever guy.
I know.
Unless we... If I... Oh, no, that's too fiendish. No.
Come on, let's do it.
Look, my wife has a cousin. She's an actress.
Yes, this is Kelly who writes the Dear Kelly column. Sure, I'd be glad to answer your problem. Just write... Oh. Well, if it's a matter of life and death, I'd be glad to answer over the phone.
Darling, I'm here if you need me.
You say you're in love with a man who's 40 years old?
You need me. Hello?
He's on.
I knew he couldn't stay out of it. Listen.
Hello, who is this?
I want to talk to Kelly. I need some advice.
Well, dear, anything you can tell Kelly, you can tell me. I'm her uncle.
Well, I guess it's all right.
What's your name?
Oh, I won't tell you my name. Just call me Desperate. How am I doing?
Your agent ought to see you now.
Thank heavens I'm here. This girl is desperate. Hello. What's this about you and a 40-year-old man?
Oh, I love him. I love him. That's what it's about. But my parents are so old-fashioned. They don't think a girl of 16 should elope with a man of 40.
Great actress. Went to Alaska with Bob Hope.
And I'm thinking about eloping tonight. And I wanted to call Kelly to see what she thinks.
Well, never mind what Kelly thinks. I want to talk to you. Can you come to my office today? I'm over on Cannon Drive.
Tell him it's a trap. He'll probably call your parents.
It sounds like a trap. You'll have your secretary call my parents. I know you will.
Now, believe me, Desperate, there'll be no one there, just you and I. Come at 12:30. My secretary will be out to lunch.
Well, I could come from school on my lunch hour.
Good. And until then, don't do anything desperate. Desperate. Bye now. See you later.
Lunch hour. Her lunch hour.
Yes, Jim, I know it's important, but can't you postpone this luncheon conference with Ledbetter and Reynolds? Someday I'll tell you, it'll stand your hair on end. Come in. See if you can't make it for tomorrow, huh? Right. Thank you, Jim. Miss Desperate?
Are you sure we're alone?
Well, I take my oath, there's no one here but you and me. Come in, dear. Sit down. Now, I'm not very experienced in these matters, but I do know if you get a chance to talk to some... Miss Desperate. Miss.
My camera would have had a tape recorder under there.
Now, sit right down there. Nobody's trying to trick you. There. Now, we'll discuss this whole thing sanely and calmly.
I love him.
Easy. Here, drink this. There, that's better, isn't it? Now, remember, this is very important. Your whole future's at stake. Now, we'll discuss this, and we'll take as much time as we have to, all right?
All right, as long as I don't miss my 1 o'clock algebra class.
Yes, agreed. Now, let me bring up a very important point. Now, you say that you're in love with a 40-year-old man.
I love him.
Well, yes, I know that you love him. Now, sit down there. That's it. I know you love him, but will you love him when you're 40 and he's 65? You'll want to go dancing and he'll want to collect his Social Security.
I don't care. I just don't care.
Well, now, easy, dear. Now, easy. Now, someday a young man will come along.
No. You see, I love him because he's different. He combs his hair. And he wears a real square hat, just like this one. And he never says to me, crazy man. And his car, it's got a top with fenders.
Well, that's all very nice.
And he helps me with my plane geometry.
Well, I know he must be a man of real quality, but really, you must let him go.
Never.
Now, look, someday a young man will come along, and he'll have fenders, and he'll be a whiz at plane geometry.
You're against me. My mother and father are against me. Everybody's against me.
No.
Oh, what do I have to live for?
No, wait. Get away from that. Wait.
No.
No, please. Please.
You don't understand.
Yes, I do, really, I do. I'm trying to help you.
But I love him. I love him.
Now, wait a minute. Wait, there's a girl going through that.
come on.
She's going to elope. No, I did. She almost jumped out the window. She's in love with a 40-year-old window. I mean, no, wait a minute. She wants to go down. Oh, no. Wait a minute.
We made it.
What's the matter, Bentley? You look desperate.
I am. I'm looking for desperate. I told you a thing like this was going to happen.
What would happen?
A girl in your class is going to elope.
Elope?
She's about... and her hair, it's... I'll find her.
This is an examination.
The PTA will thank me for this.
Well, who's going to elope? You can't come in and disturb a class like this.
There's a girl in this class is going to run off with a 40-year-old man. Well, she's not here, but I'm going to find her if I have to go through every classroom in their school.
But Bentley...
Cal, I'm afraid we carried it too far.
How could we know that he'd go through a dozen classrooms looking for a face?
Oh, hi, fellas.
Hi, Bentley. Hi.
I tell you, if you only know what I've been through.
We know it got out of hand.
Bentley, this is Judy Morrison.
How do you do? Fellas, right at this very moment, there's a high school girl about to elope with an old man. It's absolutely frightening, I tell you. If you could have seen this... You look familiar. Fellas, I don't know what to do. I was thinking of calling a meeting of all the parents to see whether we could find this girl. And if... Didn't I see you on a television show with Bob Hope up in Alaska?
It was all a gag. Tell him, Ollie. It was a gag. We joked.
We've got to find this girl and stop her from doing this terrible thing. I tell you, if you could hear that innocent little voice when she turned to me and she said...
I love him. I love him. I love him.
That's it. You...
Wasn't easy.
And you...
Well, yes, we all of us, really, we...
A great little actress, huh?
Yes, she is. Well, what we really thought was that you'd carried yours too far, and we see now we overshot the field a little.
Oh, this girl's great.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you, Peter. How'd you know I could use this?
Big ears and wise old head.
Well, Janice, that's great news.
And when the faculty decided to discontinue the column, I must confess I didn't put up much of a fight.
I'm glad, Miss McCleary. I was getting round-shouldered from answering all these letters.
I expected tears.
And you know, Bentley, there was merit to the things you said in the restaurant. I didn't have any dinner, but you gave me food for thought.
Well, that takes care of these.
Darling, there's one letter there I think you should read.
Dear Kelly, I am a bachelor who is raising a teenage niece. In my anxiety to do the job right, I trespassed upon her right of expression.
And I also stepped upon the tolerant toes of a lovely algebra teacher, driving her from the table without even a bite of lasagna. My humblest apologies to you both, signed, Cured.
Gosh, Uncle Bentley, I think you're super. Don't you agree, Miss McCleary?
Well, yes.
Well, I'm glad to see that you agree, wise old head. And now, Janice, what do you say we go back to Angelo's and finish that lasagna we started the other night?
I'd love it. I'd love it. I'd love it.
All right, Miss Desperate. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. The Stone Age was baffling. The Metal Age just as mystifying. But I'll give them both cards and spades with the most puzzling age of all, the Teen Age.
Kelly, Kelly! Here it is, Kelly, here it is, hot off the press.
Let's see, Ginger. Look, Peter, my very own column in print in the school paper.
Wallabaloo!
And they even put my picture right next to it.
You look very journalistic.
I was supposed to write the column, but the editor likes brunettes.
And talent.
So now I'm her lake man. I bring in the mail.
Careful, Lake Man. You get banana all over tomorrow's column.
Sorry, I'm on a banana diet.
Glad to hear that. Good for your figure and better for our budget.
Gosh, I can hardly wait to show Uncle Bentley. Dear Kelly, that's me. I am a lovely girl of 16, and I am very disappointed in my boyfriend because... And my advice to you, disappointed, is don't give him the gate until another boy comes swinging through.
Very proud of you. I'll make copies in Chinese and send it to relatives.
Here's another one for the next edition. Dear Kelly, I caught my best friend taking out my girl. Should I give her the heave-ho or punch my friend in the nose? Signed, Puzzled.
What's your answer to that? Answer. Dear Puzzle, and no problem is ever solved by shedding blood, especially if it turned out to be yours.
Go on, read on.
My advice is, I wouldn't give a nickel for a chick who's fickle.